Hi, welcome back to Budget with Bianca. I'm Bianca, and today I wanted to go over what my husband and I will be doing in January with our budget. We're doing something a little special this year. I've never done this before, but we are doing the YNAB More Money Challenge, and we'll be doing it from January 1st to the 31st of 2025. So I wanted to go over a high level overview of the challenge itself and then what specifically we're going to be doing with it. So the More Money Challenge rules, there's only three of them. One is to track every dollar of your spending. We're already doing that with YNAB, and you can do it with YNAB or on a piece of paper, an Excel sheet, whatever you do, or a different app. You are only supposed to buy the essentials, so that you get to decide what that means for you. And I do have a little bit more on that later in the presentation. And then the third rule, which I think is the hardest for most people, is no dining out. We don't dine out a ton, but we do like to. So that might be a little hard for us, but we'll make it work. And then they do say in their workbook that most people save up to $1,000. So what we decided was that anything up that we save up to $1,000 will be used for our vacation fund, and then anything over $1,000 will go to our true expenses, building those up. So if you don't know what I mean by that, you can check out my video on our financial success roadmap, where I talk more about that. Our target amount that we set was $1,250, so we'll see if we make it up to there. I'm hoping that we can get at least $1,000. And then again, our start date will be January 1st and then through the 31st. So they do want you to explore your financial goals, and so that's this page on the left. So we just came up with answers, my husband and I. So, for example, how could we spend money on things that would make our life easier? For me, that would be a house cleaner that would come just a couple times a year to do some deep cleaning for us. That's just not something that I have the time for right now unless I really plan for it in advance. We do like getting coffee and lunch out during the week, but we hardly ever do that because we just don't have the money for it right now, or that's not what we prioritize with our money. What luxury item do we wish for would be an icon pass for the ski season, like the full one. You can buy day passes, but that's not the same thing, and that doesn't really give us the freedom to go whenever we want. One big thing that we would be proud to do would be to replace our roof. That is going to be a lot of money, and if we can save up for that, I think that would be a big accomplishment. And then my husband does want new ski boots. Things that we could afford to be more generous with, and what would we do with that money, would just be to spend on our friends and family. We would love to, take our friends or family out for dinner and pay for it. No issues there. Gifts for people just because. I do have a general gift giving category in YNAB. It just doesn't get funded every single month. So I'd like to be able to prioritize that at some point soon. And then they want you to brainstorm 5 ideas on how you can save or make more money. I can pick up shifts at my main job. I did apply for a PRN position, which I'll be starting shortly. Nick, my husband, can increase commission by making more sales, and then we can sell things around our house that we don't need. There's plenty around here that we don't need. So that's something we're going to do in January as well. And then I did talk about this again in my financial success roadmap video, but we do need to optimize our tax strategy because that's something that we're struggling with and we are not able to do well. And then again, and only buy the essentials. They want you to slim and trim your spending so that we can speed up our savings. So our no spend rules are absolutely no Amazon purchases unless it's absolute essential. So if it's something for our daughter, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but right now, but something for our daughter or us that we absolutely need, that's fine, but no frivolous Amazon spending for me. And then we're going to sell things around the house that we don't need anymore. I have lots of clothes that either don't fit me or I don't wear anymore, so that can all go. And then our exceptions would be my niece's birthday is in January, so we will buy her a present. And then we may need to buy my daughter's convertible car seat, possibly 2 of them, because my husband and I both drive her to and from daycare and other places. So it just depends on how if she grows out of her infant car seat that she's in now, we will need to buy that. That's obviously an essential for us. So with the no dining out, no takeout, no delivery, you have food at home, so eat it. I think their marketing is amazing. I just wrote down some mindless, low prep or no prep meal options for us that we enjoy. So salads are, I think, a great option. You can add vegetables, meats, whatever other source of protein that you like. We always love pasta with meatballs, quesadillas, especially if you add like protein like beans or chicken to it. PB&Js, leftover omelets, which is basically my term for whatever's left in the fridge gets thrown into a pan, and then I put eggs into it and shove it in the oven. We love to get the chicken wontons from Costco, and I like to put it with broth, so it's a really comforting soup. And then mac and cheese, and then I have the shopping list there just for ease of reference. And lastly, you can see the roadmap here. So, what I plan to do is make a new category in YNAB titled More Money Challenge. And we'll do that here in a second. But I will also be doing weekly check ins on YouTube every Monday in January to see how things are going and just to check in on how we're saving and how much. And then if you want to follow along, I will leave a link in the description box to get this workbook that I'm showing here right now. I didn't show every page, but there's a lot more in there, a lot of resources and other tips that they provide to do this challenge. So let's head over into YNAB. Okay. So in YNAB, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a category group, and I'm going to title it More Money Challenge. It's going to go right at the top. Perfect. And I was going to put an emoji, but I forgot what the keyboard shortcut is. But we're going to do, let's do savings, and then I'll add an emoji later. And I'm not going to put a target or anything on it, but what I plan to do is, one, when I go in and budget for January, instead of putting any money in our frequent expenses for dining out, so this is like $150, I will snooze it, and then I will move the money that we were going to budget for dining out into savings because we won't be dining out this month. And then throughout the month, what I plan to do is, let's say that we had this $20 for a family activity, budgeted out, but we decide that, we don't want to, budget that out or take any money from that. So instead, at the end of the month or during the month, that $20 will get rolled into this savings bucket. And so that's how we're going to track how much money we save. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that is what we plan to do in January with the More Money Challenge. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description box below. I would love if anyone would like to join me for this challenge in January. And like I said, I'll be doing check-ins. And if you do the challenge with me, let me know how it's going in the comments for those weekly check-ins. So I will see you in January when we start this.